Ọlọ́run mímọ́ jùlọ, Olúwa Ọlọ́run alágbára jùlọ, olùgbàlà mímọ́ àti aláàánú jùlọ. Má fi wá sínú ìrora kíkorò ikú tí kò ní pẹ̀kun. Olúwa, ó mọ ohun ìkọ̀kọ̀ kan wà. Má ṣe di etí àánú rẹ sí àdúrà wa. Ṣùgbọ́n Olúwa mímọ́ jùlọ, Ọlọ́run alágbára jùlọ, olùgbàlà mímọ́ àti aláàánú jùlọ, dá wa sí ẹni tí ó yẹ jùlọ ní onídàájọ́ ayérayé ní òpin wákàtí wa, nítorí ìrora kí ìrora ikú má ṣe jà.
Ṣáájú tí mo màmá wa yọ̀wọ́ olóògbé lórí ọ̀làníwájú àjọkẹ́ adébọ̀bàjẹ́ adéṣùgbà ẹjọ́ fi sílẹ̀ lọ sọ́dọ̀ ara rẹ̀. Nítorí náà àwa fi òkú rẹ̀ fún ibẹ̀. Ekuru fún ekuru. Ní ìdánilójú àtijọ́ ṣe méjì ìṣáájú ilé tí ó túbọ̀ nípa fún. Nípa Olúwa wa Jésù Kristi tí ó para òṣì wa dà. Ká lè rí jára ìtìkára rẹ̀ tó gbé ògo rẹ̀ bí iṣẹ́ agbára. Nípa èyí tó lè fi tẹ̀lé Yorùbá fún ara rẹ̀. Mo gbọ́ ohùn ńlá kan láti ọ̀run wá wípé kọ̀wé rẹ̀ láti sísí lọ ìbùkún ní fáwọn òkú tó kú nínú Olúwa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀mí wí nítorí wọ́n sì ní kúrò ní wàhálà wọn. Olúwa ṣàánú fún wa.
Kristi ṣàánú fún wa.
Olúwa ṣàánú fún wa. Àdúrà Olúwa.
Bàbá wa fún ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ilé ọ̀run. Dábọ̀ fún ọkọ̀ fún wa.
Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè, ẹni tí ẹ̀mí àwọn ẹni tí ó fi ìyìn sílẹ̀ lọ nínú Olúwa ń bẹ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀, àti lọ́dọ̀ ẹni tí ọkàn àwọn onígbàgbọ́ ń bẹ nínú ayọ̀ òun ìrora. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí a yọ wọ́n kúrò nínú ẹrù ara wọn, tọkàntọkàn ni àwa ń fi ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ, nítorí ó wù ọ́ láti yọ màmá wa olóògbé olórí Ọlárewájú Àjọkẹ́ Adébọ́bàjẹ́ Adéṣídà kúrò nínú òṣì ayé yìí. Àwa ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ kí ó lè wù ọ́ nínú oore rẹ̀ ńlá láti tètè parí iye àwọn àyànfẹ́ rẹ àti láti mú ìjọba rẹ yára wá kí àwa pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn tí ó fi ìyìn sílẹ̀ lọ nínú ìgbàgbọ́ òtítọ́ orúkọ rẹ mímọ́, kí a lè ní ẹ̀kún àti ìrora wa àìnídòpin ní ara àti ní ọkàn títí láé nínú ògo rẹ tí kò ní pẹ̀kan, nípasẹ̀ Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa.
Ọlọ́run Kristi, ẹni tí ń ṣe àjíǹde àti ìyè, ẹni tí ẹnikẹ́ni tí ó bá gbà á gbọ́ yóò wà láàyè bí ó tilẹ̀ kú, àti ẹnikẹ́ni tí ó wà láàyè tí ó sì gbà á gbọ́ yóò kú títí láé. Ẹni tí ó sì ti ọwọ́ Pọ́ọ̀lù àpọ́stélì rẹ̀ mímọ́ kọ́ wa pé kí a má bínú jẹ́ bí àwọn tí kò ní ìrètí fún àwọn tí ó ti sùn nínú rẹ̀. Àwa fi ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ bẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ bàbá, kí o jí wa dìde kúrò nínú ikú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ sí ìyè òdodo nígbà tí àwa bá fi ayé sílẹ̀ lọ, kí àwa kí ó lè sinmi nínú rẹ bí àwa ti ní ìrètí pé màmá wa olóògbé olórí Ọlárewájú Àjọkẹ́ Adébọ́bájọ Adéṣídà ń sinmi, àti ilé àjíǹde gbogbo ènìyàn ní ọjọ́ ìkẹyìn, kí a lè bá wa ní ẹni ìtẹ́wọ́gbà ní ojú rẹ, kí a sì lè rí ìbùkún náà gbà tí ọmọ rẹ olùfẹ́ jọjọ yóò sọ ní gbangba fún gbogbo àwọn tí ó fẹ́ tí wọ́n sì bẹ̀rù rẹ̀ wípé ẹ wá, ẹ̀yin alábùkún fún ọmọ bàbá mi. Ẹ gba ìjọba tí a ti pèsè sílẹ̀ fún yín láti ìpilẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ọjọ́ wá, fi èyí fúnni àwa ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ bàbá aláàánú, nípasẹ̀ Jésù Kristi onílàjà àti olùdáǹdè wa.
Orin ní page 8.
The second and the last stanza. First two stanzas and the last.
Ṣé máa ṣe mí orílẹ̀ àyà olùgbàlà rẹ̀, a fẹ́ ọ ṣùgbọ́n Jésù fẹ́ ọ jù, súre súre súre.
Kí òjì mọ́ sí lálàwẹ̀kùn, ìsinmi tirẹ̀ pé ó sì dájú. Súre, súre, súre. Tí a fi pàdé ní ìtẹ̀rẹ̀, tó sì wọ̀ wá ní agbádá funfun, títí a ó sì mọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bó ti wà. Súre, súre, súre.
Ju Àjọkẹ́ Adébọ́bájọ Adéṣídà, máa lọ ìwọ ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi nínú ìrìn àjò rẹ di ayé yìí, ní orúkọ Ọlọ́run bàbá ẹni tí ó dá ọ.
Àmín.
Ní orúkọ Jésù Kristi ẹni tó jìyà nítorí rẹ.
Àmín.
Ní orúkọ ẹ̀mí mímọ́ ẹni tó ń fún ọ ní agbára. Ní ìdàpọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ènìyàn mímọ́, àwọn áńgẹ́lì àti àwọn olórí áńgẹ́lì, àti pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn ogun ọ̀run. Kí àlàáfíà Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ ìpín rẹ láti òní lọ, kí ibùgbé rẹ sì jẹ́ Jerúsálẹ́mù mímọ́. Kí oore ọ̀fẹ́ Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa, ìfẹ́ ti Ọlọ́run, dápọ̀ tẹ̀mí mímọ́, kí ó wà pẹ̀lú yín kó sì máa bá yín gbé láti òní lọ àti títí láéláé.
The Cathedral Church of St. Denis will be and all the Christians will be now. The doors to doors now will be according to your age. Your jury. Sorry. Mama, Agbaini, Akoleno. Rama. Sorry, madam. Excuse me. Dr. Fisher Bamin.
Uncle Frank.
Kábíyèsí ẹlẹ́rìí mọ́ ní òkèlè ìmọ̀lẹ́. Ọba Michael ọdún ọyọ ìyá yìí.
jẹ́ ẹ kúrò lọ́nà.
àti ọmọ àti gbogbo nǹkan tó ní signature màmá lẹ́yìn tí màmá ti lọ sinmi yìí kò ní sí àkúfà o ojú wọn ò ní rí ibi ẹni bá robi kò wọ́n kíbi lọ bá ní o lórúkọ Jésù la gbàdúrà pé gbogbo àwa táwa bá wọn ṣe ayẹyẹ lénìí ayé àwa náà kalẹ̀ ọdún yìí ó máa dáa fún wa sí i àdúpẹ́ nítorí pé pàtí gbogbo èèyàn bá ń lọ sílé ẹ máa dáàbò yín bò wá ògo ni fún yín ní orúkọ Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa àmín.
Thank you. This is a special celebration of life where we have not just one MCs. My name is Olu Faloye. We also have a co-MC. Co-MC, please come and introduce.
Mo jẹ́ kan náà àwọn pèdèpèdè nílẹ̀ yìí lẹ́kìtì lọ́sùn. Ẹ rí i pé ẹnìkejì mi tó ń sọ òyìnbó yìí ìlú òyìnbó ló ti wá. Ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ bíbí Àkúrẹ́ ni o. Ọmọ bàbá Faloye ni o. Òun ni wọ́n ń pè ní Olú Faloye. Ṣùgbọ́n bí bá ní ó ṣàkúrẹ́ báyìí á sọ o. Báyìí ẹ jẹ́ kí á kí àwọn èèyàn gbogbo àwọn tó wà nílé èèyàn ṣùgbọ́n bí ojú agbo yìí ṣe wà ẹ rí i pé ẹni tí ó bá lè wá láti sẹ́mọ̀ pé alágbàkalà wà yìí kéèyàn wá gbéra látọ̀bà lé síbí epo ló lò ẹ̀dẹ̀mọye tó ń tepo àwọn ọmọ olóòkú ní ká.
ọmọ ni ó sì ń sọ.
ó ti ṣe màmá rẹ̀ o. ọmọ ni ó ṣe ó ti ṣe màmá rẹ̀ o. ó bá wọn lọ́rùn rẹ̀. ọmọ ni ó ṣe.
Ọmọ aṣèlú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ fún ọ.
ó ti ṣe fún màmá gómi ẹ̀ sáyé. ọmọ aṣèlú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ fún ẹ.
Ayọ̀gàdé bàbá jọ. Ìdílé yìí ká. Akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ pàjọ́.
ọmọ aṣèlú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ fún ẹ.
Mama tèmi lọlé. Anábọ́dọ̀ mama tèmi lọlé o. Adéṣọlá ọba. Màmá ọba.
Adéṣọlá ọba. Màmá ọba.
Adéyíká mama tèmi tọ́pẹ́. Adéṣọlá ọba ni màmá ọba.
Adéṣọlá ọba.
Adéṣọlá. Adéṣọlá. Adémọ̀lẹ́dì. Adéṣọlá ọkọ lórí tẹ́bí ọ̀la. Ọkọ lórí tẹ́bí ọ̀la. Kábíyèsí. Adéṣọlá.
Princess Adetola, Adesina Awani. Princess Adetola, Adesina Aya Awani. Princess Adetola, Adesina Aya Awani.
Dear friends and supporters, we trust you are in good health. Today we come to you with a heartwarming request for assistance on behalf of a young man whose dreams have been derailed by an unexpected health crisis. Adebare Adewale Kudus, a promising student of Yaba College of Technology, was on a path towards achieving his dreams and securing a brighter future for himself and his family. However, life had different plans for him. A severe eye cataract has clouded his vision, causing him unimaginable pain and forcing him to drop out of school. The good news is that there is hope. Adebare Adewale Kudus has been given an opportunity to regain his sight through a left eye surgery scheduled for Friday, September 29, 2023 at the Ansila Catholic Hospital in Lagos. This procedure can change his life forever, but it comes at a cost. We urgently need to raise 850,000 naira to cover the expenses of the surgery and post-operative care. Your generous donation can make a world of difference in Kudus' life. With your support, we can give him the gift of sight and help him get back on the path to realizing his dreams. The surgery is scheduled for September 29, 2023, and time is of the essence. Your compassion can make a life-changing difference in Kudu's life. Kindly send your donations into the account name Adebarik Adewale Kudus. Account number 044-962-8253 GT Bank. Together we can bring light back into Kudu's world. Thank you for your kindness, generosity and support.
The ubiquitous BC Olatilo show, conceptualized 25 years ago to capture the way Nigerians celebrate different events, and by extension showcasing to the world the rich cultural heritage and dances of Nigerians from the north to the south, has led to the conclusion by many, especially friends of Nigeria across the shores of our land, who are die-hard fans of the BC Olatilo show, BUS, that we, through the program, have been able to establish the fact that Nigerians are the happiest people on the surface of the earth. Some even say that the BC Olatilo show, BUS, which has grown from a 1-hour program a week over the years to a 24-hour-a-day full TV platform called Biscon Tv, transmitting globally on terrestrial and satellite platforms, is a confirmed therapy for looking young and forgetting the worries associated with the hustle and bustle of life, especially for those who live in the cities where people hardly have time to rest. The BC Olatilo show and Biscon TV have professionally come to the rescue with weekly and daily broadcast of the cutting-edge coverage and production of events. These programs give ample opportunities for people to dance heartily, connect with old friends, establish new relationships, close new deals, enter into lifelong marriage partnerships. And our society is replete with encounters at events like this, ending happily at the altar. The BC Olatilo show and Biscon TV was at the upscale bridge-building traditional wedding ceremony of the son of Senator Gbenga Shafa, two-term senator and chairman and CEO of the Federal Housing Authority of Nigeria, and wife, Mrs. Folashade Ashafa. The parents of the bride are Dikin Olatunde Kolade Bello, chairman of Bella Vista Group of Companies, and wife, Mrs. Henrietta Bello, who is from Delta State of Ishekiri extraction. The bride and groom, who are very much on their way to richly complement the giant strides of their parents in all aspects, are Oluwatobi Ashafa, a carbon copy, stunningly look-alike of his father, and the bride, Olayinka Bello, who is the younger, beautiful replica of her mother. The bride had her education abroad and is doing very well in her career, while the groom, Tobi Ashafa, is a law graduate of George Washington University, USA, and a master's degree holder with special concentration on counterterrorism. As to be expected, friends and family members of both families were there in robust attendance from the topmost echelon of the society to join the marathon celebration by the Ashafa and Bello families. The event, which took place on Saturday, the 5th of August 2023 at the Harbour Point, Victoria Island, Lagos, featured a rich display of the cultures of the Yoruba and Ishekiri people of Delta State. Present at the event were Dr. Bafemi Kadri Hamzat, Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba and wife, Derinsola Oshoba, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, Alhaji Razak Okoya and wife, Folashade Okoya, Princess Abafolayo, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, Fumi Ajila Ladipo, Oba Said Ademola Elegushi of Ikate Land, Oba Abdulwasiu Omogbalahon Lawal, the Oniru of Iru Land, and Oba Latif Antodo Adams, the Onikate of Surulere. Others were Dr. Lorunimbe Mamura and wife, Otumba Femi Pedro, Princess Sarah Adebisi Shoson, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, international football star J.G. Okocha and wife, Queen's Counsel Chief Odita, an illustrious son of Asaba in Delta State, a close friend to the bride's family, Prince Biscon, the chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, who is a good friend of the groom's family among many others. Highlights were the cutting of the wedding cake conducted by Queen's Counsel Chief Auditor, a high chief from Asaba Delta State, a close friend of the bride's family.
O B E love.
The father of the bride danced with his daughter, while the groom had his time with his darling mother, with the Aristo Band supplying music.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself,
This was followed by the special dance of the couple and their parents, friends and family members. Haven't changed to a very trendy Niger Delta traditional outfit that sat very well on both of them, complemented with a stylish bowler hat on the groom and eye-catching beads and accessories that further signposted the beauty of the bride. The couple danced energetically to the music of his Shekiri cultural outfit as family and friends joined them. The toast was proposed by Femi Alayode, a close friend of the groom.
And we pray that God will keep you guys together. God will make you guys grow together. And may your home be filled with peace. May your home filled with the love of God. And may you continue to look out for each other. We wish you all the best. I love you guys. Salute.
The bespoke oversubscribed traditional wedding of Oluwatobi and Olayinka Shafa ended on a happy dancing note. Biscon Communications congratulates the Ashafa and Bello families on the success of the wedding of their children.
Dear friends and supporters, we trust you are in good health. Today, we come to you with a heartwarming request for assistance on behalf of a young man whose dreams have been derailed by an unexpected health crisis. Adebare Adewale Kudus, a promising student of Yaba College of Technology, was on a path towards achieving his dreams and securing a brighter future for himself and his family. However, life had different plans for him. A severe eye cataract has clouded his vision, causing him unimaginable pain and forcing him to drop out of school. The good news is that there is hope. Adebare Adewale Kudus has been given an opportunity to regain his sight through a left eye surgery scheduled for Friday, September 29, 2023 at the Ansila Catholic Hospital in Lagos. This procedure can change his life forever, but it comes at a cost. We urgently need to raise 850,000 naira to cover the expenses of the surgery and post-operative care. Your generous donation can make a world of difference in Kudus' life. With your support, we can give him the gift of sight and help him get back on the path to realizing his dreams. The surgery is scheduled for September 29, 2023, and time is of the essence. Your compassion can make a life-changing difference in Kudus' life. Kindly send your donations into the account name Adebare Adewale Kudus. Account number 044 962 8253 GT Bank. Together we can bring light back into Kudus' world. Thank you for your kindness, generosity and support.
The 80th birthday anniversary celebration of Otumba Kunle Ogwade, veteran engineer and chairman and CEO Petro Organic, was held on Wednesday, the 28th of December 2022 at the Muson Center, Onikon, Lagos. It was a grand event that was well attended by family members, friends, well-wishers and close associates of the celebrant. The very vibrant, younger-looking and energetic celebrant, alongside his wife, Mrs. Ayodele Ogunade, danced into the hall in grand style as Ayo Balogun supplied music. The event compere Prince Biscon, the chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, coordinated activities with super expertise. He enjoined the guests to pray for the celebrant before the opening prayer was said by Mrs. Omobola Gbajabiamila. Notable personalities at the event were the chairman of the occasion, High Chief Olumuyiwa Afalomo, Chief Dr. Babajide Damasio, chairman Yoruba Tennis Club, Asiwaju Rabiu Adioluwa, chairman Island Club, Oba Adeleke Idowu Basibo, the Alakberu of Ikberu Remo, Oba Adewale Oshiberu, the Elekpe of Ekpe, Basharu J.K. Randall, Alaja Shinoto Aderojo Jikutu, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Chief Mrs. Tolulokpe Akonde, Erelu Lushola Obada, former Deputy Governor of Osun State, Dr. Biodu Shobanjo, chairman Troika Holdings, Chief Ulu Okeowo, renowned real estate guru and wife Lady Adejoke Okeowo, Asiwaju Alex Duduyemi, among many others. Speaking at the event, the chairman of the occasion, High Chief Olumuyiwa Afalomo, businessman and advertising mogul, he recounted how he met the celebrant a long time ago and how their relationship has waxed stronger over the years.
I bet you at a very, very auspicious time in your life. I'm trying to remember what actually brought us together, but it was what I could describe as affection at first sight. Somebody introduced me to you or introduced me to you. And it just happened to be a time in your life when you were taking great decisions. And from that day on, I'm sure the good Lord has been blessing you. Olúwa adó tiẹ̀ o, dáadáa ló máa rí o, owó yà túbọ̀ máa lọ sókè ni o, ojú òní tiẹ̀ láwùjọ o. You have a lot of respect in the community. The quality of people around shows the sort of person you are.
He wished the celebrant well at 80 and prayed for him for more of God's grace.
Well, let me just wish you a very, very happy birthday. Gbogbo èyí tó kù nú ayé ẹ pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn, pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà, pẹ̀lú ara líle ló máa fi lò ó. Ayé ẹ kalẹ̀ ni o. I don't like describing people as self-made. There are too many of us who would wish to describe ourselves as being self-made. Nítorí Ọlọ́run ló gbé wa débi tá a dé, Olúwa ló gbé wa débi tá a dé. Kúnlé, your efforts in life should describe you as a self-made man. Kúnlé, àkókò lè Olúwa dúró tì ẹ́ á dà fún ẹ o á yẹ ẹ́ kalẹ̀ o ilé ìwé dẹ̀ ní já ṣe mọ́ o.
The celebrant and his wife had a special photo and video session with Egbe Bobagbuyi Akile Ijebu, a well-respected chieftain group that he, Otumba Kunle Ogunade, once headed. Speaking at the event, one of the celebrant's family members, Chief Mrs. Tolulokpe Akonde, wife of the late Chief Harry Akonde, a very close friend of the celebrant, who led members of the Ayiba Tolulokpe Akonde Foundation to the event, congratulated the celebrant and described him as a very supportive man.
You've been very supportive, and that's why I have to be very supportive. Thank you. Happy birthday to you for taking care of him.
A well-known Ijebu Women Association, Egbe Egbobani Ashiwaju Obinrin Akile Ijebu, led by Mrs. Kuku, chanted songs of praises and danced for the celebrant as they presented gift items to him. The chairman of the Island Club, Asiwaju Rabiu Adioluwa, hailed Otumba Kunle Ogunade for his contributions to the club over the years, stating that the club is always very proud of him.
We're always very proud of you. Very easy going, humorous, ever smiling. I don't think perhaps you can hot a fly. You don't know. But we love him. And that's why we are here to celebrate you. We wish you more healthy life. God will be with you, abide with you, and give you long life. Lórúkọ ẹgbẹ́ wa, gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣíwájú wa ṣe olúfàlọ́mọ. Ọlọ́run wa pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ṣọ́ pọ̀lọpọ̀. Àjọṣe wa ò ní bàjẹ́. Àtúbọ̀ ṣe pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ sí inú wa ní láti wà nínú gbogbo àtàwọn èèyàn ọdún bó ṣe súnmọ́ yìí àṣọpọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún òní bí wa mẹ́rin inú wa dùn pẹ̀lú ọmọ àtàlàfíà.
The club afterwards presented a check to the celebrant, as their custom is at such events. Also, in their usual unique and traditional manner, members of the Yoruba Tennis Club also gave their goodwill message to the celebrant. The chairman of the club, Brother Babajide Damasio, congratulated the celebrant and prayed for him and his entire family before the traditional message, anthem and prayers of the club were delivered.
I'm very happy for you. And, on a occasion like this, when we come around, you know our tradition. So we try to do what we have to do. And members have really turned out in an appreciable number. You agree with me, especially at this festive period like this. So it shows that you are somebody who is well known in the club. And we pray that you continue to be a happy man in your life.
Dr. Sonny Kuku, co-founder Eco Hospital and the close associate of Otumba Kunle Ogunade, read out his tribute, which centered on his strong bonds with the celebrant.
Kule, you were born great, being a scion of the illustrious Akpebi Ogwade family of Ijebode and Itele, and groomed traditionally in the idiom of an iconic kingmaker. The Akpebi kingmakers in Ijebode. The result is your being a repository of Ijebu tradition and history. But I can tell you that in his good old days, he was a ladies' man. Kule, I'm proud to be your friend. I'm also proud to be your Oluku. Happy birthday, Otumba Meyege of Itele and Atuwase of Oyo, which means you are the Atuwase of Yoruba land. Long may you live in good health, and may your shadow never grow less.
One-time Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Alhaja Asinatu Ojikutu, who gave testimonies of the celebrant, made it clear that the special occasion was a day of thanksgiving to God for the life of the celebrant. She glorified God for the elite gathering and prayed for departed friends and associates, including her deceased husband.
Some of the good friends here, like the chairman of today, like Joro Ogu, I'm sure Bashorun, who have some, not to talk of our Advat Guru. Everybody knows that Otumba Kule is a friend indeed, a real friend indeed, a friend that is not out of mind, out of sight. He was very grateful, he appreciated what you did, but since then, we became very close. I thank you very much. I thank God for a day like today, that I can again stand up and appreciate you. May God continue to bless you, bless your offspring, bless your family, bless where you from Jebuland.
The cutting of the birthday cake was supervised by Dr. Biodu Shobanjo as directed by the compere of the event, Prince Bisi Olatilo.
E I G H T and a Y 80. Congratulations, Otumba. Congratulations.
A happy birthday song was chorused afterwards. The vote of thanks was given by Prince Bisi Olatilo, after which more music, dancing and merrymaking continued till the very end. From Biscon Communications, it's 80 hearty cheers to Otumba Kunle Ogwade. Happy birthday, sir.
Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. They're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Americans in pensive mood as sad memory of September 11 World Trade Center attack comes alive. No end in sight to the unhealthy rivalry as Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy Honorable Philip Shaibu fight dirty. Renewed confidence in Nigeria's arts and tourism sector at the 16th edition of NTAC's Arts and Crafts Expo in Abuja. I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. America is enveloped in a sober, reflective mood today as it honors thousands of souls lost in a terrific terrorist attack tagged 9/11. Clearview's Patience Obod has details of the deadly event that took the world by storm.
Today marks the anniversary of the World Trade Center attack where many lives were lost. The September 11 attacks, commonly known as 9/11, were 4 coordinated Islamist suicide terrorist attacks carried out by Al-Qaeda against the United States on that fateful Tuesday. That morning, 19 terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airliners scheduled to travel from the New England and Mid-Atlantic region of the East Coast to California. The hijackers crashed the first 2 planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, 2 of the world's 5 tallest buildings at that time, and aimed the next 2 flights towards targets around Washington, D.C., in an attack on the nation's capital. The third team succeeded in crashing into the Pentagon, the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense in Arlington County, Virginia, while the 4th plane crashed in rural Pennsylvania, following a passenger revolt. The attacks killed nearly 3,000 people and instigated a multi-decade global war on terror. Within hours of the attacks, the Central Intelligence Agency determined that Al-Qaeda was responsible. The United States formally responded by launching the war on terror and invading Afghanistan to depose the Taliban, which rejected the conditions of U.S. terms to expel Al-Qaeda from Afghanistan and extradite its leaders. The U.S. invocation of Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, its only usage to date, called upon allies to fight Al-Qaeda as U.S. and NATO invasion forces swept through Afghanistan. Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden disappeared into the White Mountains, eluding captivity by Western forces. Former President of America, Donald Trump, gave a speech to sympathize with families of victims of the terrorist attack.
No one who lived through the horror of the September 11th terrorist attacks can ever forget the agony and the anguish of that terrible day. It was a terrible day. The images of dark plumes of smoke billowing over lower Manhattan, the Pentagon, and a field of Pennsylvania, such a beautiful field, are seared into our minds forever. We will never forget. Today, on this solemn anniversary of those monstrous attacks, we remember the 2,977 precious souls who were savagely taken from us on that morning 22 years ago, leaving a void that can never be filled, No matter what happens, it can never be filled. We will say a prayer for each of the beautiful families they left behind, whose pain is beyond comprehension. What they've gone through is not even believable. We honor the firefighters, the great New York PD, the police department, what great people they are. They are so great. And the Port Authority officers, the Virginia, D.C., and Pentagon police, and the military service members and other first responders, actually all over the country. They acted with supreme heroism, and they went to the site of the most heinous crime. They would leave other states far away and go to the World Trade Center site, the Pentagon. They'd go to Pennsylvania. who in many cases gave their lives in the line of duty. God bless the memory of all of those who perished in the 9/11 attacks. We will never, ever forget.
The origins of Al-Qaeda can be traced to 1979 when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. In Nigeria and across the globe, we all pray for the departed souls and shun all forms of terrorism. Patience Obot reporting for Clearview News.
The feud between the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy, Honorable Philip Shuaibu, is shocking to some people, while to others it is a long-awaited duel. It may therefore be wrong to say nobody would have expected that the cordial relationship between the duo would break so soon, though not even the governor or his deputy could see it coming, as they have been basking in the euphoria of their joint victory over some interest groups and relevant politicians. We have a commentary.
In the build-up to the 2020 governorship election in Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy Philip Shuaibu had formed what many had thought was an unbreakable alliance. Together, they confronted the onslaught of the then national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Adams Oshiomhole, to emerge victorious as governor and deputy governor respectively. Signs of friction, however, surfaced when Shuaibu showed interest in succeeding his boss in the upcoming governorship election in Edo State come 2024. His decision did not go down well with the governor, who felt Shuaibu's true intention was to undermine his authority. It was alleged that Shuaibu did not formally inform his boss of his intention and embarked on consultation over his ambition, apparently with the intention of informing the governor at the appropriate time. However, Obaseki appeared unwilling to support his deputy's ambition. The governor was also said to have appealed to his associates who were interested in the governorship race to focus more on ensuring that the administration finished well and strong. Since the feud began, the governor has stripped his deputy of state responsibilities he had once controlled, such as revenue supervision and sports administration. A few days ago, the governor had ordered the disbandment of his media crew over what the state government described as an ugly and unfortunate incident that happened during the colloquium held to mark the 60th anniversary celebration of the Midwest referendum at the Sir Victor Wafo Creative Hub. A few Sundays ago, there was a mild drama at the church service to mark the 32nd anniversary of the creation of Edo State, as a security operative attached to the governor stopped Shuaibu from approaching his principal. The crack between Obaseki and his deputy manifested when Shuaibu approached the Federal High Court in Abuja and alleged that the governor and the State House of Assembly were plotting to impeach him. The court granted the deputy governor an interim restraining order pending the proper determination of its application. Shuaibu's search for legal protection came to Obaseki as a shock, setting the stage for the feud that has dominated major political discussions in the state and Nigeria. The Edo State House of Assembly and the governor denied knowledge of any plans to impeach the deputy governor. Obaseki, in his reaction, accused him of disloyalty and planning to overthrow him because of his desperation to become the next governor of the state. Obaseki had recently described the rift between him and his deputy as unfortunate, sad, and unavoidable because, according to him, the people know where we are coming from and what we have gone through. Speculations are rife that Shuaibu may not survive this political gang-up, humiliation and annihilation that lies ahead if developments in the last few days since he returned from his annual leave are anything to go by. Since Obaseki is determined to cut him to size and clip his political wings, some political watchers believe that the embattled deputy governor should eat the humble pie and toe the path of honor. They believe that since genuine reconciliation is not feasible, it will be best for Shuaibu to tender his resignation letter. On more than one occasion, the deputy governor has severally expressed optimism that the storm between him and his boss will eventually be resolved outside the prying eyes of the public and the media. But how that can be achieved remains daunting, as the gulf between them widens daily. For now, Shuaibu has directed his lawyers to withdraw the suit he filed at the Federal High Court to stop the alleged plot by Obaseki to remove him from office. He stated that the decision to withdraw the suit came after a series of meetings involving himself, Obaseki, and well-meaning citizens of Edo and Nigerians, including party leaders, traditional leaders, and the Archbishop Benin Archdiocese of the Catholic Church. However, it is not yet clear if this gesture would make the governor to shift ground in his favor.
Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Rushewe, says the just concluded International Arts and Crafts Expo annual event has opened doors for international investors to come in and invest in Nigeria. He said the international community has already expressed interest in supporting the development of Nigeria's creative industry. Rushewe, who is also the president of the World Craft Council, made this known in a chat with the media after the closing ceremony of the 16th edition of the NCAC's International Arts and Crafts Expo held in Abuja at the weekend.
The Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Orushewe, said the platform, apart from showcasing Nigeria's craft and culture to the world, it will also reduce unemployment, crimes, and build a better nation for the youth.
I believe Nigeria is fully open for investment. Truly, investors can come here. And what happened today is to tell the whole world Nigeria is safe and we're in harmony with each other. Which, what the ambassador said here today tells you a story of the people of Nigeria who maybe have been misunderstood. So for me, 3 countries want to take Nigerians to their country now. 3, Bulgaria, India, China, and Bangladesh. Without this platform, we won't have the opportunity. So for me, it's a win-win situation for us. So it is only for Nigerians to tap and go to the next level after this expo. For us to open our doors, bring more investors to our country, and I'm sure in the next couple of years, our story will change.
While taking members of the diplomatic community round the Arts and Crafts Village in Abuja, the DG urged state ESCOs at the event to duplicate same in their various states. And on our part, the ambassador of Malaysia in Nigeria, Shemint Devi, said the event has brought sweet memories to many of them living in Nigeria.
This is what we want to replicate in every state. The shops here, I'm used to know. Government is trying to help the ordinary Nigerians. This shop, they go for 200,000 per year. Meanwhile, plazas go for 2 million, 3 million. But this one is to empower the ordinary Nigerians, help them to make a living. This will reduce unemployment, reduce crime in our society, and make us a better place.
3 months here, so it's a great opportunity to be part of this event because I get a chance to learn about the Nigerian culture and tradition.
President, Society of Nigeria's Artists, Mohammed Suleiman, and other keynote speakers said it's time Nigeria's government look beyond oil and start harnessing potentials in the creative industry.
For us, we must identify where we're coming from. That is one aspect. Creating the job that must be original to us. That one nobody can take away from you. But if you're waiting for transfer of technology, the whole idea is that they can only transfer to you that which they do not need.
Okay, oil is not a sustainable means of forex because of we know the vagaries in international oil market. But culture represents a veritable and a sustainable means of earning foreign exchange. So I think the government should pay close attention to issues to do with culture.
As part of the expo activities, over 200 Nigerians, both young and old, were trained in several vocational skills.
Today we made necklace, earrings, and we're making our shoes now. I learned a lot from this, and this would help me a lot in future. And one more thing I'd like to say is that I want to thank the ministry for this event today. It would help a lot of children and teenagers to build up themselves for future purpose.
What the ministry is trying to do, or what Oga Otumba is trying to do, is to empower the youth, catch them young. And that's why we are training them from children, you understand? So by the time they grow up, this thing sticks in their mind, and they can even do that even while they are in the university. And makes
for the skill, it's not university degrees. I'm not even involved in that. We need to develop Nigerian to be practically. Let's bring out the creativity in every Nigerian. And that's my thinking.
The occasion featured display of traditional dances by the Performing Arts Department of the Council. Imefon Okon reporting for Clearview News.
2 years to the timeline set by the federal government to increase the percentage of electric vehicles in Nigeria to 7.50% of the vehicles plying roads in the country, there are serious doubts over the feasibility of the target. 2 years after the first locally assembled electric vehicle was introduced, only about 200 units have been sold. The government had in its 2050 policy agenda document launched by former President Muhammadu Buhari in May said the proportion of electric vehicles in Nigeria was less than 1%. The government had planned to increase the number to 7.50% in 2025, 14% in 2030, 20.50% in 2035, 27% in 2040, 33.50% in 2045, and 40% in 2050. The target was part of the proposed investment in climate-smart technologies to reduce carbon emissions in line with the global vehicle electrification program aimed at reducing the internal combustion engine vehicles which run on fossil fuel and contributing to global carbon emissions. Reports have it that many African countries like South Africa, Morocco, Kenya, Zambia are seriously investing in electricity vehicles. Globally, under a decarbonization objective, the electric vehicle market is growing, exceeding 10 million sales in 2022. With 14% of all new cars sold being electric, according to the Global Electric Vehicle Outlook 2023. With 26 million electric vehicles on the roads, China is leading the pack with 13.9 million cars, followed by Europe with 9.5 million and the US 3 million electric vehicles. Egypt has voiced anger after Ethiopia announced it had filled the reservoir at a highly controversial hydroelectric dam on the Blue Nile River. Ethiopia has been in dispute with Egypt and Sudan over the mega project since its launch in 2011. Egypt relies on the Nile for nearly all its water needs. Egypt's foreign ministry said Ethiopia was disregarding the interests of the downstream countries. Ethiopia says the $4.2 billion dam will not cut their share of Nile water. Ethiopia believes the Ground Ethiopian Renaissance Dam will double the country's electricity output, providing a vital development boost, as currently half the 127 million population lacks electricity. The plan is to generate more than 6,000 megawatts at the dam, which is about 30 kilometers border from Ethiopia's border with Sudan. Egypt and Sudan argue that common rules for the operation must be agreed, fearing that energy-hungry Ethiopia may exacerbate their existing water shortages. Negotiations over the project resumed last month, having been suspended in 2021. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. When we come back, we bring you stories on women and children. Stay with us.
The news continues now with stories from our area of specialization, women and children. After the main transmission of our news, we rebroadcast on our YouTube page, Clearview TV. Do you operate a women or children's NGO? Are you at the helm of affairs of a government establishment or a corporate organization involved in the affairs of women and children? Then you are our partners in progress. We have a mission to better the lot of our women and children. Join us to celebrate womanhood and work assiduously to better the lot of the Nigerian child. This is our mission.
Welcome back. As part of its efforts to put smiles on the faces of orphans and less privileged children in the society, a non-governmental organization, Desiree Belema Foundation, has organized a one-day fun fair for about 250 orphans and underprivileged children in Abuja, the nation's capital. Speaking at the event, the chairperson of the foundation, Dr. Desiree Belema, said the gesture is part of her philanthropic exercise aimed at putting smiles on the faces of Nigerian children. Clearview's Eunice Ella Eze brings us details. The report.
Charity, they say, begins at home. This can be attributed to the life of Dr. Desiree Belema, which is poised at fostering hope and empowering Nigerian orphans and underprivileged children. Speaking at the event, she bared it all on her journey and how far she has come in pursuit of her dream of establishing the Orphanage Foundation. She also spoke on some of the challenges faced in the running of an orphanage home.
I grew up with a child that lost both. She lost her mom when she was barely a year, and father married another wife. But the father, the stepmom, took the father's love from the child. So the child grew up without the love of a mother and, the love of a father. So at some point she made mistakes in life. She took some wrong decisions, and, growing up with her and then seeing her go through that, trauma, changed my whole perspective about life. So from that period, I took it upon myself, and then I made a decision that, I would be a mother to every orphan child I come across. So what I started doing was at tender age, as far back as, when I was 22, I was still in school then, I would go to the orphanages. I started in Port Harcourt, Cross River State. So I would just go to the orphanages and then give them relief materials, food items, and then most times money. So I did it over time, and then I decided to set up a foundation proper in 2020. So we birthed the Desiree Belema Foundation.
Beneficiaries of the gesture spoke on their experiences at the orphanage.
Honestly, this woman have been helping. This is the second time I'm coming. The time that they invite widows, I came. I really appreciate it. The wrapper that doesn't have, I got the wrapper. Up to now, if I just raise the wrapper, I'll just say as if I should hide it under my boss. I'm afraid to touch the wrapper. God will bless this woman.
Let God grant her desire.
What I like about it, they are taking good care of us.
May God give her long life and prosperity.
Everyone, if you are, what the world needs right now is just a bit of love and kindness. You might not know it, but it's tough for a whole lot of people, especially these children. These are the things God says, if you lend to the poor, you're giving to him.
If you fall, you are out. That's all. Eunice Ella is reporting for Clearview News Desk.
Husband to the woman whose kidney was allegedly removed by Noah Kekere, a controversial doctor, has disclosed how he was offered millions of naira to close the case. Busari Kamal, husband to the victim, revealed how the victim's right kidney was harvested illegally at Murna Clinic and Maternity, Jos, in 2018. In an interview, Kamal lauded the divisional police officer of Nasarawa Gwon Division, SP Timothy Bebisa, for standing by the truth and resisting all attempts to bribe him to downplay the case. According to the husband, when the suspected harvester was arrested, all efforts made to bribe him and the DPO were unsuccessful, adding that he was asked to mention any amount he wanted for the case to be closed. The arrest of the suspected harvester followed a complaint by the husband of the victim at the Nasarawa police station.
Dr. Kekere, who is currently exhibiting mental illness at the psychiatric unit of Jos University Teaching Hospital, had prior his arrest been carrying out medical treatment, including surgery, for over 2 decades. The Nigerian Medical Association on Sunday said the embattled doctor is not a member of the association. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. America has been enveloped in sober, reflective mood as it honors thousands of souls lost in terrific terrorist attack tagged 9/11. With tolling bells, personal tributes and tears, Americans looked back at anniversary observances that stretched from ground zero to small towns. People are gathered at memorials, firehouses, city halls, campuses and elsewhere to observe the 22nd anniversary of the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil that claimed the lives of 2,977 people. Feud between Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy, Honorable Philip Shaibu, remains unabated as the deputy governor has commenced the relocation of his office to an area outside the government house at a new office situated at number 7 Dennis Osadebe Avenue. We also told you that the Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Runsewe, has expressed optimism that the just concluded International Arts and Crafts Expo annual event has opened doors for international investors to do business in Nigeria. Runsewe, who is also the president of the World Craft Council, made the remark in a chat with the media after the closing ceremony of the 16th edition of the NCAC's International Arts and Crafts Expo held in Abuja at the weekend. Like us on Facebook, Clearview News Desk. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at Clearview News Desk. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Clearview News Desk. Many thanks for watching. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.
Dear friends and supporters, we trust you are in good health. Today we come to you with a heartwarming request for assistance on behalf of a young man whose dreams have been derailed by an unexpected health crisis. Adibare Adewale Kudus, a promising student of Yaba College of Technology, was on a path towards achieving his dreams and securing a brighter future for himself and his family. However, life had different plans for him. A severe eye cataract has clouded his vision, causing him unimaginable pain and forcing him to drop out of school. The good news is that there is hope. Adibare Adewale Kudus has been given an opportunity to regain his sight through a left eye surgery scheduled for Friday, September 29, 2023 at the Ansila Catholic Hospital in Lagos. This procedure can change his life forever, but it comes at a cost. We urgently need to raise 850,000 naira to cover the expenses of the surgery and post-operative care. Your generous donation can make a world of difference in Kudus' life. With your support, we can give him the gift of sight and help him get back on the path to realizing his dreams. The surgery is scheduled for September 29, 2023, and time is of the essence. Your compassion can make a life-changing difference in Kudus' life. Kindly send your donations into the account name Adebarik Adewale Kudus. Account number 044-962-8253 GT Bank. Together we can bring light back into Kudus' world. Thank you for your kindness, generosity and support. Communication is fundamental to the existence and survival of humans, organizations and structures. In our daily life, communication helps us build relationships by allowing us share our experiences and needs and helps us connect with others. Communication ensures the smooth running of any organization, thereby achieving its set goals. It is the essence of life, allowing us to express feelings, pass on information, share thoughts, and understand each other better. We all need to communicate. In simple terms, communication is the act of transferring information from one person to another. It is a process of creating and sharing ideas, information, views, and feelings from one place, person, or group to another. Typically, communication should involve the sender, the message, and the recipient. The sender or the communicator generates the message and conveys it to the receiver. He is the source and the one who starts the communication. The message generated by the sender is encoded symbolically, such as in the form of words, pictures, gestures, and so on, before it is being conveyed. The message is the idea, information, view, fact, feeling, and so on that is generated by the sender and is then intended to be communicated further. The receiver is a person who is last in the chain and for whom the message was sent by the sender. Once the receiver receives the message and decodes or understands it in proper perspective and acts according to the message, only then is the purpose of communication successful. Hence, communication can be said to be effective when and if the receiver understands the message. In other words, communication is complete when feedback is initiated. This happens when the recipient informs the sender that the message has been received and understood. The feedback can be provided through verbal and non-verbal means. The words we use to communicate are important, but so is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal cues such as signals, movements and expressions in our social and business life all help to deliver a specific message. Handshakes, eye contact and touching all help to show how we feel. Sometimes non-verbal communication is even more effective than verbal communication in some situations. Communication is a key in a relationship, and it's a crucial ingredient that keeps a relationship healthy. If there is no communication in relationships, it is likely to fail. The importance of communication cannot be overemphasized. After all, there can't be culture, society, or civilization without the ability of people to communicate with one another. Good communication prevents conflicts and misunderstandings, helps us to meet our needs, and establishes rules and laws that aid in the structuring of society, helps people find and keep employment, provides information and guidance to people, and passes down cultural traditions, norms, and values. Two truths to know or keep in mind about communication are: 1. Communication is inevitable. We are always communicating, even subconsciously. 2. Be careful about how and what is being communicated. The effect of what you've communicated can't be undone. Effective communication can be achieved by being clear and concise while communicating. When communicating, be clear about the objective and purpose of your message. Make sure your message is easily understood by keeping it succinct. People prefer short, sharp messages, so it's better to stick to the point and be clear about your intentions. Don't let them rely on assumptions to work out your message. 2. Don't make any assumptions. Assumptions are formed when information is incomplete. It lacks evidence or facts, and it's quite easy to form assumptions if the right questions are not asked. The more questions asked, the less assumptions are made. 3. Listen with empathy. Empathic listening is the practice of being attentive and responsive to others during a conversation. By listening with empathy, one can make an emotional connection with other person and provide a more heartfelt personal response. We can truly learn to understand the emotions and perspectives of others with this process. 4. Learn the basics of nonverbal communication. It's said that nonverbal communication accounts for 55% of how an audience perceives a presenter. That means most communication is not through words, but through physical cues. Developing the ability to understand and use nonverbal communication can help in connecting with others, express intentions and thoughts, and build better relationships at home and at work. Why is communication important? Building trust and relationships. One of the primary reasons why communication is imperative is because it helps foster stronger relationships and builds trust between people. It takes time to build trust in a relationship, and one way to achieve this is through communication. When people or partners are always willing to have honest and open communication, trust is built over time. Friends, families, and spouses who are comfortable communicating with one another enjoy more fruitful relationships. A key thing to note here is that communication is not a one-way process. That is, while speaking is an essential component of communication, listening is also an indispensable one. So, to forge stronger relationships with people, we don't just talk to them, we also listen to them. 2. Communication is important because it helps solve conflicts. Communication is the best way to solve any conflict that might arise in life or in relationships. More importantly, communicating is an excellent way to avoid any conflict from arising in the first place. Communication also helps in gaining more knowledge about a person and better understanding them. It helps in passing across our points and views clearly, thereby avoiding or mitigating any misunderstanding that might arise. Indeed, effective, honest, and regular communication is the basis of any successful and long-term relationship.
Even in business, communication is important. So in relationship, friendship, it is paramount. So yeah, because it is in communication that you find out the do's and don'ts, as in the ons and offs of your partner or your friends. So definitely you have to communicate.
Another important reason why communication is so important in life is rooted in the basic definition of communication itself. It helps clearly tell others what you want and express any ideas you might wish to share with them. The inability to express our ideas and wants means they can't be achieved.
From marital to social, academic work and everything, communication is important, because it is only through communication we can share interests or views and what have you. But if you want to keep it to yourself, I think you are not ready for growth. Certainly, yeah. If you want to hold communication, if you want to be yourself, if you want to just be within your circle, you don't want to communicate, meaning you are not ready for growth.
Also, communication helps foster respect. What might sound disrespectful to one party might not be to the other. Effective communication helps parties involved to know the preferences of each other and respect one another's views, as well as know when and where to draw the line. Also, it allows support for each other. One of the exciting parts about having a partner is that you always have someone to rely on when facing challenges. When you encounter challenges, it will be a disservice to yourself if you decide not to share with anyone, especially your partner. It is important to mention that going through challenges alone can be difficult, but a problem shared is a problem half solved. There are so many barriers to communicating effectively, and until they are identified and properly managed or dealt with, effective communication cannot be achieved. Some of these hindrances include emotional barriers. The emotional IQ of a person determines the ease and comfort with which they can communicate. A person who is emotionally mature will be able to communicate effectively. On the other hand, people who let their emotions take over will face certain difficulties. A perfect mixture of emotions and facts is necessary for effective communication. Emotions like anger, frustration, humor can blur the decision-making capacity of a person and thus limit the effectiveness of their communication. Another hindrance to communication is perception barriers. Different people perceive the same thing differently. This is a fact which we must consider during the communication process. Knowledge of the perception levels of the other person is crucial to effective communication. All the messages that communicate must be easy and clear. Not listening attentively. The biggest problem of communication is not listening. Many of our communication problems would go away if we intently listen to one another. Speaking before thinking. So many times we say things as a reaction, and those times it usually doesn't go well. Take your time and think before speaking or responding. Raising your voice. Thinking before speaking, as mentioned above, will help to deal with this problem. Taking a breather will also help in putting yourself together. Non-verbal communication like facial expressions, gestures, and so on impact our conversations. You may not have said anything wrong, but you sure did say something wrong with your negative body language, which can be received worse. Speaking in superlatives. We need to be careful of using extreme words like you always, you never, every single time, among others. There are no doubt that there are things we always do, never do, or do every single time. Using superlatives can be harmful to any relationship. Playing the blame game. Learn to take responsibility when you err. Don't let your first instinct be to blame others. The blame game or pointing fingers doesn't work. Seeking to be understood first rather than to understand. Strive to know what the other person is thinking, what they are feeling, or what they may be dealing with. Before you try to get them to understand you, first understand their point of view. It just may change your point of view before you even share it. When we strive to eliminate all the barriers to communication, we'll have a better, stronger, and lasting relationships, achieve goals faster, and enjoy more peace. And even when misunderstandings do occur, which is inevitable, it will be faster and better resolved. It cannot be overemphasized that communication is fundamental to the existence and survival of humans, organizations, and structures. Through good and effective communication, barriers of misconception are broken, relationships are built and sustained, conflicts are resolved, peace, respect, and unity are engendered. There is no gainsaying, therefore, that we all need to communicate.
On Monday, the 31st of October 2022, the China Harbour Engineering Enterprise, a subsidiary of China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, which is the engineering, procurement, and construction contractor for the $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Sea Port, announced the completion of the construction of the port. The port is one of the biggest deep-sea ports in West Africa, expected to generate $361 billion revenue for the Nigerian government, while also providing close to 200,000 job opportunities for the nation's teeming unemployed youths. The Lekki Deep-Sea Port is built over 90 hectares of land at the center of the Lagos Free Trade Zone, approximately 60 kilometers east of Lagos. It is the first deep-sea port in Nigeria. The multi-purpose deep-sea port will serve as an important gateway for containerized dry and liquid bulk cargo vessels. The seaport is one of the most modern ports in West Africa and supports the growth of commercial operations in the region. Construction of the $1.5 billion deep-sea port began in December 2017, and the project was expected to be completed in 2020. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was pushed forward to 2022. It will be recalled that on Wednesday, October 23, 2019, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, signed a $629 million financing facility with the Chinese Development Bank. This is aimed at completing the Lekki Deep Sea Port project. According to the agreement, in 30 months, Nigeria's first deep sea port will be delivered in Lekki Free Zone. The signing of the agreement has no doubt put to rest all kinds of reservations concerning the speedy delivery of the seaport venture. The project has enormous capacity not only to stimulate the Lagos economy, but equally to push it up in the index of largest economies of the world. The Lekki Deep Sea Port is the first deep sea port in Nigeria and the container transportation hub in Africa. The multi-purpose Lekki Port has liquid and dry bulk terminals to serve container vessels of up to 8,000 20-foot equivalent units, dry bulk vessels, and liquid bulk cargo vessels. The 9-kilometer long and 19-meter deep